I had $8,000 in my savings account and I still couldn't sleep at night. I was checking my balance 3-4 times a day like an addict. Every unexpected expense felt like a disaster waiting to happen. A friend invited me to dinner. My brain instantly calculated whether I could afford it. My car made a weird noise. Panic mode. The rent was due next week. Anxiety through the roof. This was my daily reality with $8,000 saved. Here's the crazy part. I was earning a decent salary. I had no debt. That money was more than I'd ever saved in my life. I should have felt secure, but I didn't. I felt broke, trapped, like one bad day could send everything crashing down. And I couldn't figure out why I felt this way. Then it hit me one Tuesday morning. I was sitting in my car having a mini breakdown about whether I should get the $4 coffee or make it at home. I had $8,000 in the bank and I was stressing over $4. That's when I realized something was seriously wrong. Not with my finances, with my brain. The wildest part? When I actually was broke 2 years earlier with only $200 to my name, I somehow felt less anxious. That's the scarcity mindset, and if you've ever felt financially stressed despite having money saved, despite doing everything right, you need to hear this. My name is Ben, and today I'm breaking down the psychology behind why having money can actually make you feel more anxious about losing it. Before we dive in, if this content helps you understand money better, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this matters and helps others find practical advice. The scarcity mindset isn't about how much money you have. It's about your brain's relationship with financial security and the fear of losing what you've built. Psychologists have studied this for decades. Your brain developed these patterns in childhood based on how your parents handled money and financial stress. If you grew up watching your parents worry about bills, argue about money, or live paycheck to paycheck, your brain learned that money equals anxiety. These neural pathways don't just disappear when your bank balance increases. They're hardwired. Your brain still operates as if financial disaster is imminent. Research from Princeton University shows that financial stress reduces cognitive function by the equivalent of losing 13 IQ points. 13 points. When you're stuck in scarcity thinking, you're literally making decisions with a handicapped brain. Every choice is filtered through fear and anxiety. Here's what most people don't understand. The scarcity mindset creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your fear of losing money actually prevents you from growing it. You avoid investing because what if the market crashes? You turn down career opportunities because what if it doesn't work out? You hoard cash in savings accounts. Meanwhile, inflation is quietly eating away at your purchasing power. That $8,000 I had saved, it was losing about $300 a year in value. But I was too scared to invest it because my scarcity brain said, keep it safe, keep it liquid. What if you need it tomorrow for an emergency? The Federal Reserve found that 40% of Americans couldn't cover a $400 emergency without going into debt. 40% with $400. So when you finally save that first $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, your brain is terrified of becoming part of that statistic again. This is where the psychology gets really interesting. Behavioral economists call this loss aversion. The pain of losing money is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining the same amount. So saving $1,000 feels good, but the thought of losing it feels devastating. Your brain is designed to protect you from loss, not to help you build wealth. Evolution programmed us for survival, not for optimizing investment portfolios. So how do you break free from this mental trap? First, you need to recognize it. Awareness is the critical first step toward changing your money mindset. Start tracking your emotional responses to money. When do you feel anxious? What triggers that checking your bank balance compulsively behavior? For me, it was anything unexpected. A parking ticket, a higher than normal electric bill. My brain immediately went to worst case scenario thinking. Second, create what I call permission-based spending. Set specific dollar amounts where you don't need to stress about the decision anymore. Anything under $20? Don't even think about it. Between 20 and 50? Quick mental check. Over 50? That gets more consideration and planning. This removes the mental burden of obsessing over every $4 coffee. You're training your brain that small purchases won't derail your financial security. Third, build what psychologists call financial resilience. This isn't just about the dollar amount in your account. It's about diversifying your security. Emergency fund in high-yield savings. Retirement accounts growing in the market. Multiple income streams. Skills that make you employable. That's real security. When I finally invested half of that $8,000, something shifted. Not immediately. It took about 6 months before I stopped checking daily. But slowly, my brain started to understand that wealth building requires calculated risk. Keeping everything in cash wasn't protecting me, it was limiting me. Research from Vanguard shows that having even $2,000 in emergency savings increases your financial well-being score by 21%. But the key is separating your emergency money from your growth money. Your emergency fund stays liquid and safe. Your investment money works for your future. This mental separation is crucial. It tells your scarcity brain that, yes, we have protection, and yes, we're also building wealth. Both things can be true. The transformation doesn't happen overnight. I spent months rewiring my relationship with money, challenging every anxious thought, questioning every fear-based decision. But here's what changed. I stopped checking my accounts multiple times daily. I started making financial decisions based on data and goals, not fear and anxiety. I could finally enjoy the money I'd worked so hard to save. That dinner invitation didn't trigger a panic attack. It was just dinner with a friend. Your bank account number isn't the problem. The scarcity mindset is. And the good news? You can change your mindset. It takes work, but it's absolutely possible.